Welcome into another episode of Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. I am your host, David, returning from a bit of a hiatus. And here with me today is my co host, Andy. And we are going to be diving into yet another episode of Week in Geek. Not a crazy jam-packed episode, but I am going to catch up on some stuff. I've been out the last few weeks. We got a healthy baby boy brought into the podcast family. So we are very happy over here. Like I said, took a bit of a hiatus, but we're back. So I got to get caught up on a couple of trailers that dropped in the last few weeks. You know, give my 2 cents on that. And then we're going to be diving into some shows. We got a handful of shows coming out in the next month here, so we're going to discuss that. Disclosure Day trailer had a new thing dropped. We got some Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Golem updates coming. We got a fair share of news coming out for you. So. One thing we have that just kicked off, though, so we'll lead off with that. Last night was the Oscars. And as we all know, that is the major award ceremony for the movies at the end of every year. It's totally not biased. Every time they pick a winner, it's absolutely the right decision, and there's never been any arguments about that before. So we got our big awards that dropped last night. Rattle it off real quick for you. Best Picture went to One Battle After Another. As well as Best Director to Paul Thomas Anderson for the same movie. Michael B. Jordan came in and swooped the Best Actor for his twin portrayal in Sinners, which I thought that was deserved. Jessie Buckley at Best Actress in Hamnet. Sean Penn took Best Supporting Actor and again, One Battle After Another. Best Adaptation went to One Battle After Another. And Ryan Coogler got on stage to accept the award for the Best Original Screenplay, I believe. That was a big moment for him there. So there wasn't a lot of insanely, robberies, I don't think. Did you have any thoughts on the awards that were given out last night, Andy?
No, not really. I think just funny. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it was an ego check for Lisan Al Gaib for not winning the Oscar." Timothy Chalamet. It's for basically there was the comments he's been making recently, and the comments he was making about other things that people were dissing him on, and not realizing that the Oscar voting was already closed by that stage anyway, so it wouldn't have affected the outcome regardless. But a lot of people were saying it was an ego check for him to not win that Oscar, and go to Michael B. Jordan. I'm glad Michael won it simply because he's also one of the shareholders of my local football team in England. He's part of the consortium that owns it, and he's been down here a couple of times to visit. So good to see him win it. To be fair, but apart from that, no huge shocks, I guess, this year. I just like the fact that they've obviously changed the criteria to make sure that everyone's watching every film that's nominated. Finally, after the fucking ridiculousness that was the Dune Part 2 snub. So,
oh God, I don't know. I back to the Marty Supreme thing, which you're talking about Timothy there. He basically said ballet and opera was a dying or dead art. Which obviously it's got its corner of people, and it's got its parts of the world where it's a lot bigger than it is in America. That's for sure. So that could have been a bit of an ignorant American opinion coming out from him there. I know he's French technically, but let's be real here. But I was surprised at how many awards Marty Supreme won. Now, I know it didn't take the Oscar, but it won, I think it won the Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And Timothée won Best Actor and a couple of different other awards. The Actor Awards, which is formerly the SAG Awards, I believe. Now they're just called the Actor Awards. SAG Awards sounds a little bit more prestigious. SAG-AFTRA, yeah. Now it's just Actor Awards, which seems a little bland. I was just surprised at how many awards that it won. Did you see it at all?
No, because it was making a lot of noise, and then I was going, I don't even know what this film's about, and then watch the trailer and go, it's about table tennis. So I was like, why is this film making so much noise when that's what it seems to be about in the trailer? So I was like, there must be more to it, surely. And it's one of those ones that was like, I think it was because there's not been much on for the first 3 months of this year that I debated going to see it. And when it doesn't seem to be much else on, it's likely one of those ones that I will wait till it's on streaming and then probably ignore it for a further 6 months before I actually do get round to watching it.
Right, till it says leaving soon, and then you're like,
leaving Prime in 30 days. I'll put it in the background.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it either. It just didn't jump out to me as something I would want to rush to the movies to see. And by the way, let me correct myself real quick, just in case there's any, really on the needle people out in our audience there. He did not win the actor award for best actor.
Hmm.
He was nominated for that, and it didn't win the Academy Awards either. It was just nominated. He won it. The Critics' Choice Awards, he won best actor for it. There are a couple smaller ones, but they didn't. And Golden Globe Award, he won it at best actor there as well. So he did
What was
take
it,
it,
like
not in the actor awards.
9 Oscar nominations it had, and it didn't win a single one?
I believe that was the case. Yeah.
I mean, that's embarrassing
Yeah.
when you look at the last couple of years when like Emily in Paris had what, like 14 nominations or something ridiculous like that. And and you
Yeah.
can't even get one over that film. So
I mean, if I'm being honest, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of how the Oscars make their selections, and I don't remember if it was last year or the year before where Nora won all of these awards, and I don't know. I think they overhype and push certain movies to win certain awards every year when it comes
it
down
is
to it.
that
a
though,
certain
isn't it?
point,
It's
but
to me the Oscars have been a joke for years. One
yeah,
because of like this ridiculous thing that we said where films that are nominated for Best Picture don't even get watched by the
yeah,
people like making the decisions. But it's just like what okay, this is prestigious because of the history it has, not because it's currently relevant as an award show.
hmm
It's still seen as the big thing, but it's just not the best award show out there. It's not the most fun. It's
hmm
it's not even the one that has the most truthful, honest awarding, I think, either. So yeah,
No, if anything,
I
it's the
don't get it.
most politicized.
Yeah.
It's the most
So
like popularity and pushing whatever you can there. Yeah, I don't know.
just bring back Ricky Gervais to host it. So
Oh my God, he was incredible. I'll watch it every damn time they have him as a host. Um, so yeah, that was it at the Oscars last night. Um, they had Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. up there, kind of reuniting, but I don't know,
yeah,
it's a little goofy. I didn't think it was very funny,
yeah.
but they tried. They
I
tried.
don't know who does the writing for the Oscars either. 'Cause like you said, like they come out and it's always dry as hell whenever I see the clips from it or anything like that.
Yeah,
Just every year, the combination of people they have up there, and it's just like I don't know. Like fire your writers because it's the worst thing ever.
yeah. It's just the most vanilla, basic. It's just like, okay, I don't know who finds these jokes funny, but I guess somebody out there has to. Yeah. Real quick now, Andy, I don't know if you were on the Weekend Geek where we discussed the Lanterns. I believe you were. I think I
Yeah,
popped into the chat on that one. So you already discussed Lanterns and the Boys trailer. I did want to touch on that real quick as I did
go for
miss
it.
out on that discussion. I was telling you, the Boys trailer got me hyped, man.
Mm,
I haven't had excitement for the Boys since season 3 ended. Season 4 was really off for me. It just really put me off of the whole series, and kind of I just lost my interest for the story because I just didn't understand where it was going and didn't like the way they did things. But man, this got me hyped. The trailer feels like it's back to the season 3 peak of things. Man, we got Soldier Boy coming out and Homelander as president. I mean, they're really setting it up very well for this trailer. So this got me so much more excited than I expected to be, and I know it got you hyped for it, right?
mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Boys fan. I liked obviously the majority of season 4, even if most people don't, because I'm not American, so I can laugh at it more. But yeah, this got me hyped. Obviously, final season. There's going to be lots of gruesome. Like even like Keith Urban has been saying that straight from episode 1, expect gruesome shit to happen and deaths to be aplenty. So I am super hyped. This
Did you
one. The
say
trailer was
Keith
really.
Urban?
Did I say Keith Urban? Fucking hell,
You said
Carl
Keith
Urban.
Urban. He
Hey,
took a break
it's
from the
like
country
11 o'clock
singing.
in the UK. Leave me alone. Yeah, Carl Urban, you fucking cunt, is yeah, he was obviously saying it's going to be epic straight from the off. So obviously we've had lots of discussions like favorites to die who might just squeak it through. The trailer was great as we saw some bits in there. Like Soldier Boy, like, did you fuck me? Is this some incest thing?
Yeah.
It was just, I absolutely love this character, and obviously the way he's played as well. By why do the names always escape my
Jensen
head?
Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, that's it.
Yeah.
He plays him so well. So I can't wait for this season. I think it's going to be, and obviously we had that clip as well where the 3 supernatural boys were reunited. Obviously like Dean, Sam, and Castiel. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun season, I think. So
Yeah, I'm back on board. I'm excited for it. That comes out April 8th. So that's
yeah,
a
2
few
episodes
weeks
to start
away.
with. Yeah,
Okay, we get the double. Okay. And do we know, are we looking at another 10 episode season?
I think it's 8.
8. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's coming out a few weeks here, so we'll obviously be covering that, especially with it being the final season. And real quick, does that mean Gen V is done since this is the final season of The Boys, or are
I pretty
they
much think
carrying
so.
on a
They've not
story?
talked about a season 3,
Okay.
simply because I assumed it would be.
Right.
What's the point in carrying on this? Because the whole point was integrating them into the boys for the final season, which we
Exactly.
saw in the trailer that they were there. So it's I don't see it doing a third one. It'd be
Yeah.
strange if they did in the aftermath of like what's going to be the death of like 70% of the cast, probably. So
Right. We're going scorched earth, so I don't think we need to
yeah,
go back to Gen V season 3 after everything
nah,
pops off
should just
this
leave
year.
it there.
So.
It's fine.
And then the other trailer that dropped that was a major one was Lanterns, the HBO series, Damon Lindelof. I thought it looked great. It had mixed reviews. The true Green Lantern comic book fans were not exactly big fans of it. And there was actually critique from Grant Morrison, who's a famous comic book writer, on it as well, who did not appreciate the trailer, which I wanted to point out because I don't know. They talked to Damon Lindelof about it, and he made a joke about the fact they took the word green out of the title, Green Lanterns. And they say, yeah, we just think the green thing is silly. But he said it in jest. He said, it's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. So now it's just Lanterns. And it was said in jest. It wasn't a serious, real thing. And Grant Morrison came out going, so Damon Lindelof's comments notwithstanding, the green in Green Lanterns is not stupid. Why does a writer attach himself to this kind of narrative if he thinks it's fundamentally stupid? And he just goes off about this, and it's like, oh man, it was a joke. It was a joke. He wasn't genuinely saying the green in Green Lanterns is stupid. I get it. It showed the suit and it was a brown leather jacket. It didn't quite give you a space, green feel to it, which I think it's going to light up green when the ring activates. But I didn't mind it because it got promoted as a True Detective style crime thriller on Earth. So I expected it to be pretty grounded. I expected it to not be very galactic, cosmic, with everything in this season at least. I expect teases of that to happen. And I would expect we even get flashbacks and some glimpses. I think the trailer really probably only had stuff from the first couple episodes.
That was my thought on it. Is
okay.
The same way that like Avengers Endgame only apart from a couple of bits only showed like the first 15 minutes stuff from the first 15 minutes.
Right.
This is probably only the first couple of episodes. But there's no green in it, Dave. Where's the green? And I love how like HBO Max responded as well, and they showed like the green fry basket from the canteen or whatever, and they went, "What do you mean there's no green in the trailer? It's here."
It's popping right there.
Yeah, so like I mean, it's one of those ones that like I've not seen True Detective, so I don't know the vibe that they're going for in that sense. But it still looked like it was cool. We knew it was going to be this like a mix of like down to earth detective style show because they're trying to solve a mystery that would then mix the space element into it as well.
Right.
There were a couple of questions that come up from because like what we were talking about before is where in the timeline does this sit? Simply because Hal talks about being the only Green Lantern on Earth, but we know we've got Guy Gardner. I know technically in the comics he's only half human, so like, does this happen before that? We know Guy Gardner's going to be in this as well. So does it start off like in the past and come more towards like the current Superman timeline? Because James Gunn has previously said that this is going to be more like Star Wars rather than Marvel in this timeline. So, like, Marvel is obviously linear, whereas Star Wars jumps around, and he said it could be more like that, but at some point you've got to bring everything to the current time to match everything up. But if you're going to move forward towards like a Justice League style situation, so I imagine it's going to start off in the past, maybe a little bit, because everyone was saying from the aesthetic and stuff like that, it looked like it could be a little bit in the past, and then you move forward to like a more like current time, especially with Aaron Pierre it's going to be in part of our news. It's going to be in Man of Tomorrow, so it's got to move towards that Superman time, I think. So this will probably end obviously before, or maybe even go concurrently to the first Superman film, but obviously it won't go all the way up to maybe Man of Tomorrow, where we would see Aaron Pierre's character go into there. So, I mean, you're talking about people obviously sniping it, going like based off comments. Like, I had obviously a massive rant about it, but Zack Snyder as well, basically
Hmm.
having a dig at it, saying that he didn't like the production look of it because, you know, it didn't have that illuminating green in it at all. And he's like, look what I produced in my garage at home when I did my Justice League cut compared to what this is. And he's like, why can they not do better? And I'll say what I said last time, you can fuck
So
off, Zack
dumb.
Snyder.
It's so
Hate you,
dumb.
prick.
Like, what a dumb statement to make, though. Like, did you see how green I made it in the garage? They can't even get green. Like, we did. What the hell kind
Oh, I
of
filmed a
comparison is
lightsaber
that?
battle in my backyard. Come on, Disney, do better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
Rebel Moon.
equivalent of it, isn't it? So, oh yeah, oh god.
I just, again, and I'm not even a Zack Snyder hater. I appreciate a decent amount of his work, but the guy just says asinine stuff where it's like, just shut up. Just shut up. All right.
Everything post Man of Steel is just
Yeah, it's just obnoxious after a while, but
yeah. So in the end, the trailers looks like it's going to be decent. I'm finally excited that in about 10 days time we finally get HBO Max in the UK.
ooh, there you go.
So I can finally start catching up with all the stuff that I'm never going to watch, like Knights of the Seven Kingdoms,
Game of
and
Thrones,
House of Dragon,
House of the Dragon. Oh yeah.
I can finally get around to watching Dune Legacy, and I can,
Yeah.
and obviously
Peacemaker.
I can finally watch maybe Peacemaker, Creature Commandos. I can finally be on the level and not handicapped by the fucking American companies.
It's beautiful.
Apart from obviously taking the money out my ass for it.
Well, that's all part of it. It's part of the fun. You know?
it's the part of the joy.
That's sweet, and that comes out in August on HBO. So we'll obviously be covering that as well.
They moved the date, didn't they, to be late summer, so it's after Supergirl.
Yeah, they pushed it back a little bit, and it makes you wonder again with the timing of everything. We know Jon Stewart will be in Man of Tomorrow. Guy Gardner is going to be in this, but yeah, it's just kind of left. We don't know exactly in what.
I can't wait for those Hal Jordan Guy Gardner scenes because apparently he fucking hates Guy Gardner in this. So
that's going to be perfect. Nathan Fillion's going to play that great. And I always forget his name. Kyle Chandler, who's playing Hal Jordan. I think that's going to be some fun scenes. Yeah,
his family's got some acting chops as well. Him and his daughter, haven't they? So
yeah, a little bit. And again, Damon Lindelof is the writer on this, which he did Watchmen and HBO, which I don't know if you've seen that, probably not, considering he didn't have HBO, but I really enjoyed that season. He did Lost, which was hit and miss. But he's got some creative stuff in his back pocket there. So I'm excited.
Let's hope this doesn't go more than 3 seasons then, because he
exactly
it after that, didn't he?
Exactly. We'll keep it to 2 or 3. We'll call it a day. So other stuff coming up real quick here. Next week, Daredevil Born Again. Ever heard of it? Andy's heard of it. It's on his shirt. It's on his belly too, from what I've just learned recently. We got Daredevil season 2. I just rewatched season 1. It hit and miss for me again. I forgot how dope some aspects of it was. It wasn't the perfect season, but it really found its pacing by the end of it. It had a great finale that got me stoked for season 2. Andy, how ready are we for this next week?
So ready for it. Daredevil, Jessica Jones coming back as well. Oh my god, like just inching forward to get the Defenders all back together. So like, yeah, I know they said that by the end of this they'll have wrapped up the whole Fisk Mayer storyline as well, because they're not going to pursue that in season 3, which is already about to start filming as well. So I am so ready for this. Like, I know they've been dropping some new trailers again and some clips here and there, and it looks so good. I'm fucking ready for it. I'm so ready for this. We've been such a dry first 3 months of the year, I feel, and I'm ready for something good. I've been having to like watch MasterChef and shit to get me through. So
yeah. No, I get it. Again, I rewatched this. I rewatched House of the Dragon because I'm preparing for season 3 to. I've just been rewatching stuff. Just
I suppose for me, it's been a dry first 3 months because I've not had like Knights of the Seven Kingdoms and all that crap to watch.
That's true. That's a good point. I guess I just got done watching a show that I love, so it hasn't been that dry for me. But do we know? I don't know. Do we have an episode count on this? I think we're only getting 1 episode on the drop right off the bat. For Daredevil.
It's like I think it was 9 before, and they might have dropped to 8 again.
Yeah, it was 9 last season, which was odd. And it's 13 every Netflix season. So
So yeah, I think
No.
they might have rounded it down again, another 1 to 8. So
Okay.
because I'm sure I saw the episode list somewhere, or it might be like maybe a double finale or something. Or is there only one episode drop? I thought we were getting 2.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
I'm confusing that because maybe it's the boys I was thinking of, because obviously they're doing 2, and then everything seems to be a 2-episode drop normally when it comes out at the moment, and then probably Daredevil won't be. You're probably right on that one.
Yeah, and okay, so it says 8 episodes here. Yeah, it just episode 1 is the only one that has a March 24th release date.
Sorry, it's because I'm thinking obviously we've got Maul Shadow Lord coming up as well, and that's a 2-episode drop as well on its premiere date. So
God. Yeah, we got Daredevil March 24th, Shadow Lord April 6th, and The Boys April 8th. So we have got some content coming in hot.
And Invincible.
So
if
be
you
on the
watch
lookout
that.
for Why So Sidious. We're going to be covering stuff. When is Invincible drop? Man, I should know this.
Invincible comes out in April as well.
No kidding. I didn't even know
I'm
that, and I watched that. We've never really covered it.
Massive.
This actually is saying the first 3 episodes drop in 2 days on March 18th, and then it starts weekly April 22nd. That's odd. Yeah, March 18th.
We've got a lot to be covering in April.
Good God. Yeah, 3 episodes drop in 2 days. Man, there's a lot of stuff coming up. All right, so stay tuned. Why So Sidious is going to be on the grind coming up here.
They haven't given us a date for it yet, but we've also got the Punisher one-shot coming up, which is probably going to be, I reckon, sometime before, or maybe touch on the start of summer. So, because that's obviously covering.
It would make sense to do that around Brand New Day.
Brand New Day is what, end of July, isn't it, or something like that? So I imagine maybe June or something like that. They might drop that.
Yeah. We'll have to keep our eye out for that one. Yeah, I don't see a date or anything on that, but it would make sense to be around that time. Okay. All right. Well, stay tuned for that. We discussed a couple trailers before. We have a couple more trailers that are rumored to release next week. That's going to be Dune 3 and Spider-Man Brand New Day. I feel like we've gotten teases about a Brand New Day trailer coming out next week like 4 or 5 times now, so I'm not exactly holding my breath.
I've been seeing this week for that. Like
this
week,
week,
rumor had it for Wednesday, like in the middle of the night for you lot, and about 11 a.m. for me. So
really,
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be covering that once that drops, because that's going to be, even though it's probably just going to be a teaser, I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of stuff to dive into and look at.
Fucking better be more than a teaser. It's only fucking 4 months till it's out.
You would think, but yeah, you'd think they'd skip
what are you more excited
portion.
to see? Spider-Man trailer or the Dune Part 3 trailer?
Ooh, Dune.
Yeah,
Dune.
I kind of one a little bit, yeah.
I'm just so curious to see where Denis goes with this and how aligned it is to the book, and I'm so curious to see what characters, I don't know what he's doing. If we're doing the 10-year time jump, there's a couple characters that are kind of surprises that showed up in the book again, so I'm not going to spoil anything there, but I'm really curious to see what they're going to reveal in the trailer. So I gotta go Dune 3 for sure. But
I think literally like a couple of hours ago they dropped the first image of Timothée Chalamet's character from Dune Part 3 online.
They're
so looking
really
a bit wrinkled and a bit older, wearing sort of the classic face mask with those stunning blue eyes, just like me. And I love the spice.
And he's a big spice. Oh my God! Yeah, I see it. Yeah, he's gone through it a bit. Wow. Kind of looks like Sub-Zero. All right.
That's what happens when you go out with Zendaya for a few years, isn't it?
Yeah, she will take the life right out of you. And then we had another trailer that just dropped, Disclosure Day. That's one of the box office draft picks of Caleb. Okay, so he's got Disclosure Day. This is the Steven Spielberg Alien movie dropping this year. Emily Blunt, a number of other people I've already forgot. But we got the trailer. It revealed a bit more about the plot. As I was telling you guys in the group chat, it felt like we maybe had an Annihilation or Arrival style alien movie on our hands here. And then after this trailer, I've kind of lost that hope. I don't think it's quite going to be like Independence Day, but I think it's going to be closer to that kind of alien movie than Annihilation or Arrival as far as its deep, crazy mystery. So although it gave us more information, I kind of lost excitement. Did you see the trailer?
I haven't seen it yet, but it's not a film I've been that hyped for anyway.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
The whole for a couple of months, it was like, oh, Steven Spielberg's doing a new Alien film. Let's wait and see. They dropped that teaser with the name, and I was like, okay, so that elicited no excitement because it was just the name drop. And then we got that first trailer, and you kind of went, okay, kind of reminded me a bit of like, Signs.
Yeah.
Because it was like no real sight. Because they said it's going to be more about the political reaction to hostile aliens arriving on Earth, as opposed to following certain heroes or like the public in what they were doing. So it's kind of like you might only get a glimpse or two of the alien here and there, and they wouldn't really be too much of it. It was just about the reactions of everyone, and I'm just like, okay, I kind of get that premise, and it could be interesting, but again, the trailer didn't really hype it up. So I'm kind of like, it's again, I'm not 100% convinced I'll go to the cinema to watch this, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if I will
Caleb's
either.
got it in the draft. So
well, that's another reason not to. Yeah, I might have to call on
tactical screenings.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have to call on some bomb threats to kill out some screenings and lose, but he'll already have the money for the box office, so that won't be effective. We'll have to think of something else. But yeah, we'll see. But I'm not super stoked for it either at this point, if I'm being honest. Let's head over to Middle Earth real quick, my favorite place in all of fantasy. We've got some updates on the movie that I don't really have much excitement for, if I'm being honest.
This is such a good episode. Oh, we were excited for everything.
I know. I am proud to say I think I'm the biggest Lord of the Rings fan on the podcast, but this project does not really get me going. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. So we know Ian McKellen is returning as Gandalf, which is fine. He's an old man, that's cool. I wouldn't want to see anybody else play Gandalf. And we know Elijah Wood. Well, it hasn't 100% officially been confirmed. He's been asked about it many times. Ian McKellen has confirmed it multiple times, even though it's not technically confirmed. But Elijah Wood did go on record saying that he wouldn't want to see anybody else play Frodo while he was alive and able. And considering that it's been 20 years and he looks like he's gotten 4 or 5 years younger, I think he can continue to play Frodo without any issues there. But yeah, he said there's a good chance he'll return. It hasn't been officially announced, but Ian McKellen sort of let the cat out of the bag. So he's coming back as Frodo. I don't think Viggo is coming back as Aragorn. They're talking about a recast. That makes my heart hurt just imagining a recast of Aragorn. But the biggest news we got is Kate Winslet has been confirmed as the lead for this movie, the female lead. I'm assuming she is an elf. I don't think they've confirmed that, but it makes the most sense to me, especially if they're hunting for Gollum and going through the woods and all that deal that happens during that point of the story. So what are your thoughts? Anything? Does this get you going, Kate Winslet?
I mean, in Titanic, yeah. In terms of like her being like the female lead for this film,
yeah.
Like my wife's like you is a massive Lord of the Rings fan, and she is just like, this is the film that no one asked for. This is the Lord of the Rings equivalent of Solo, a Star Wars story.
Might be worse. Yeah.
I know. Let's not go that far. I don't think it could possibly be worse. Like, Solo is my number 11 out of 11 on Star Wars ranking lists every time.
It's rough.
I would rather be locked in a room with Rise of Skywalker than watch one playthrough of Solo. So this is the equivalent of it. It's harsh, maybe, but I am intrigued by what the plot could possibly be. Because obviously, anytime that you bring in because I don't know if you know, like with the talk of like a younger Aragorn and stuff like that in Gandalf, it's maybe going to be set like 30 years or so, maybe before the Lord of the Rings. Like maybe that's that sort of time era. Like Frodo being in it surely is like flash forwards or something like that, because he's not going to be obviously be like playing an older Frodo, is he? So
No.
he's gone off to the dying lands. He's fucked. So yeah, the timeline's weird about it. It could be interesting, but like I'm worried Ian McKellen could die in the middle of filming. To be honest, he's like what, like fucking 92 or something now,
Yeah, he's in
or
the
88
upper
or something
80s.
like that.
Yeah.
So like I'm a bit worried about the way the direction this film's going to go. Like if they could just tell us a bit more about the plot, I think I'd be a bit happier, because like it sounds like it could be interesting. At the same time, it just doesn't sound needed. It's just like doing Lord of the Rings just for Lord of the Rings' sake. I mean, do we know who's directing?
Um, no, I don't think so. Hold on, let me check here. Um, I don't believe we have a director, and if we do, okay. No, there was a short in 2009 called The Hunt for Golem. Not that. No, I don't think we have a director yet. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we do. Oh my God, it's Andy Serkis.
Oh,
Andy
of course,
Serkis is
yeah, he did
directing
say he was
it.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good lord.
Okay, so it could, in that front, it could be decent. You know, it's probably going to look good as well,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of production quality, because they
Yeah.
don't really mess around with that sort of thing when it comes to Lord of the Rings either, do they? So,
No.
it's just like you say, it's just one of those things. Do we need it? Is it really that wanted? Is it really worth it? Is it going to add to like the story between The Hobbit and the original Lord of the Rings trilogy? I'd rather like Peter Jackson came back and did what was it, the Similarian.
Oh my God. Do some
You know, I'd
stories
rather
from the Silmarillion. Oh my God,
I'd
that'd be
rather that
epic.
happened than a Hunt for Gollum thing.
Dude,
So
absolutely. And like you said, it will have the production quality. They're going to New Zealand, and they brought back a lot of the production team that did the trilogy. So they're bringing the gang back together. All the surrounding details, it would be encouraging for me to be like, that's awesome. They're taking it seriously. They're going to New Zealand. They're bringing back all the old people. But as you said, as far as the plot goes, so I'm fairly positive it takes place about 17 years before Frodo goes off from the Shire with the ring. I think it takes place in between Bilbo's birthday, when he gives the ring to Gandalf, and Gandalf finds out about the ring, because there's actually 17 years between Bilbo's birthday and when Gandalf actually returns to Frodo to tell him, this is the one ring, you guys got to get the hell out of here. So there's a 17-year gap
that's the
there.
book. That's the timeline in the book,
Right,
though,
that's
isn't
the
it? It's
book of
not necessarily
right.
the film where he
They
fucks
don't
off for like a
specify
week.
that in the movie at all. No, yeah, they don't specify a time in the movie. But these people also don't age. So like Aragorn is like 88, so 30 years before, he'd still be in his 50s at this point. So he'd still look the same. Frodo, same thing. He was 30 during Bilbo's party, and I think he was 47 or something like that when he went off on it. So it's just, the whole plot of it is just finding Golem because he has information about the ring. So like Aragorn is supposed to be the main part of it, looking for Golem, and Gandalf is kind of like sideline coaching, like, yeah, go here, do this, do that. So to me, yeah, it's just not a juicy enough story for me to be hyped on. It feels unnecessary. So I'm with you on that. I'm gonna watch it because they're bringing the OG production members, and it's the greatest trilogy ever. But I'm just not that excited for it. I'm more nervous than anything that they're just gonna waste time.
Are you more excited for this or Rings of Power season 3?
Rings of Power season 3, and I'm not even that hyped for that right now either. But I'm more excited for that. I think that's got more meat to bite into. Has more potential, at least. Hey. Yeah, no, I'm more excited for Rings of Power.
Fair.
Let's get into Marvel real quick. We got Lewis Pullman. He is also known as Bob. He is also known as the Sentry, the Void. He says Avengers Doomsday is not just a cameo fest, which doesn't really mean much to me when their stars say that. But he said the Russo brothers did that so well. They do not want anyone just sitting in the background. They really took to heart the responsibility of having some of the best actors in the world all together. There's a lot of really exciting pair-ups that happen. Every character has their moment that builds the dimensions of them. So again, yeah, that's what I want to hear. Does that mean that's absolutely true? No. It means it's a star who's on payroll trying to hype up the movie. But I do trust the Russos as far as telling a story with a lot of characters. They've done well in the past with that. So, and then another, unless you got anything on that, it's pretty straightforward. Another Marvel thing coming here. We got a one-shot prequel comic, and I want to ask you something about this. It's a one-shot prequel comic telling the origin of the Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four film. It will be written by Charles Soule, which is always a great thing, with art by Mark Buckingham. So my question to you, is this something you want to see more from Marvel to tie into the movies, these one-shot comics? Is it necessary? And if so, would like a 20-minute short be a better way of doing this, live action or animated, rather than a one-shot comic? What's your take on these little backstory comics that they're trying to tie stuff in with?
I mean, this is something they used to do, and they stopped for a while, and then they seem to start bringing it back because they're doing it with Star Wars as well.
Yes.
Like they're doing, what was it? They're doing 5 one-shot comics that show a story for 5 characters in the lead up to Rogue One, because it's the 10-year anniversary of Rogue One. One of them being Cassian Andor, and I'm like, we've just had 2 fucking TV series about him, and it literally leads off right before we see him in Rogue One. So how are you going to write a one-shot comic of what he was doing right before Rogue One when we just fucking saw it on TV? I don't know why you're doing a comic about that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But going back to Marvel, like doing it, yeah, they used to do it, and it used to be interesting. It used to give a little bit of backstory of what someone was doing sort of just before it. I don't know. I think it depends on the character you're doing it with as well, because they always used to do it for like the proper main characters of whatever film was coming up or something like that.
Right.
Whereas this, you're now doing a one-shot comic about a character that was in a film from 8 months ago, and that disappeared at the end of the film because we don't know where she's gone. But we already got her backstory in the film as well. And what's it just going to show? Her flying from planet to planet, feeling a bit guilty about giving them up to Galactus. So I don't know what possible story they could actually tell in this that would actually make it like worthwhile. Because you gave us her backstory of where she was as before she was Silver Surfer, how she became Silver Surfer, and then the fact that she flies around signaling, heralding their doom, literally. So, and then she arrives on Earth and she fucking flirts with Johnny for a bit, and then she helps them out. So I really don't know what they're trying to accomplish with this story, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, like, pick something that's coming up in Doomsday, because we've had such little fucking build up to it. Do something for that instead. I'm sure they might do, to be fair. And there's all this like potential about obviously when they re-release Endgame in September, and that there's a post-credit scene that supposedly leads directly to Doomsday, because it's apparently Endgame is now affecting Doomsday. So, but still, you can tell like so many characters going to be in Doomsday. You've got so many stories to tell. There's been no build-up. If you've got no films and TV series to build it up anymore, like so why not do like 5 one-shot comics of characters we're going to see in Doomsday that can affect the story?
Yeah. How much more interesting would it be if they did it for freaking Cyclops? Just what's been happening in his universe since the last movies till now, where we're going to run into him again. Because isn't the other aspect about this? I thought we were told that the Silver Surfer moving on in the MCU is not going to be I forgot her name. Julia Garner's
I know
character.
what you mean.
Aren't they switching to a different? So why do we need a background character of a Silver Surfer that we're not even moving forward with the rest of the MCU? Yeah,
that's fair, because they said that was just the Fantastic Four universe's version. Yeah, in the main MCU timeline, we would get the original Silver Surfer.
So what are we doing? Like, why do we need a one-shot back? Like you said, we got the background. It's going to be her at her home world and Galactus showing up and her having to sacrifice to become his herald. But she told us that already. So
yeah, sometimes they've done well with this, like doing it as a post thing after the film, because like Fury's Big Week was a really successful one-shot comic where they filled in the gap of basically like when, what was it, like Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2 and Thor all happened in the same week, and it follows Fury going through that entire week. And so they can do it when they like go back and do these things sometimes really well, because they used to do it in the early and mid MCU all the time. But it's just, this just doesn't seem worthwhile as a character to do it when you tell us that there's going to be a proper Silver Surfer, or I say proper, like the male version coming into the main MCU at some point. So to me, this particular character, I like the idea, going back to your original point of like whether they do this. Yes, I like the idea of doing it, but you've got to pick the right characters at the right moments, and this doesn't feel like it is worth it.
Totally. It feels like they just wanted to announce that they were doing this again, but they just chose some random, like, if I'm Charles Soule, this doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of flexibility for him to tell a fun one-shot story for her background, because we kind of, I don't know. Yeah,
What are you doing? They go to the planet and she's like, maybe like they do it where she's gone to a planet where she's heralded their doom and she's almost turned at this planet, and that plants the seeds of her having the thoughts of wanting to rebel against Galactus. So that then she's tipped over the edge in the Fantastic Four. So you can set up the whole psyche of how she's feeling in it, but again, it's still pointless because we saw it all in the fucking film.
Yeah. And even like you said, Fury's big day and all that. They did those live action too at the start in phase 1. They had little a funny thing happen on the way to Thor's hammer with Agent Coulson, and they had like little 5-minute shorts. And I really like those too. And I feel like, if it's a budgetary issue, maybe do a quick animated back. I don't know. I guess I'm just not crazy about the comic tie-in to the MCU, even though they did do it in the past. It's worked. I like some of the Star Wars stuff that they did with that, with Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren's background and some of those comic runs. But I guess, especially I do agree with you on this one. This specific choice just seems totally unnecessary.
I think it's different for Star Wars because it works for them because it's all one universe. Sorry, not one linear universe. It's all one universe. There's not separate universes and separate things going on in different universes then crossing over in a multiverse, so to speak. Whereas obviously Marvel has it a little bit different because you've got the main comic book universe, then you've got all the different versions of their universes, plus then the MCU that technically they're all in the same multiverse, but they're kind of not because they're calling everything the 616. So it works for Star Wars. I think they have to be careful with it with doing it for the MCU technically because they've just got to do it right, and there's not as big an audience to do it as I think they maybe is for Star Wars. So it is a risky business for them, and I don't think this comic is going to do well, if I'm honest. So I'd be surprised. We'll get JD to read it, so we don't have to. It's fine.
There you go, JD. You got your next homework assignment. Put it on TikTok. We'll get some interactions there. Get it sold to somebody. I don't know. We'll rock it. But yeah, it's just a weird choice for the character and everything. So, all right, we got a couple small things left to wrap this week in Geek episode up. One is going to be in Star Wars, and it's a really small thing. We might not even have anything to say about it, to be honest. I don't know if you noticed, Grogu was at the Oscars last night. He was in attendance. They had an animatronic doll sitting in attendance and kept flashing to him at random points as he waved to the camera, which, again, it's kind of another Star Wars gimmick. They're just throwing these cheap little promotional materials out in the car commercial in the Super Bowl.
Did you see the bit where Sigourney Weaver and Pedro Pascal did a little hosting together? The driest thing I've fucking seen. Like,
I know. Okay, so maybe I missed that part. I just saw what she called Grogu. It was a nod to the alien. What's her favorite line? Like, get away from her, you bitch, or something like that. She's saying, but she says it to Grogu at some point during the awards thing. So I saw a small clip of that. I didn't see her with Pedro Pascal. The only thing I saw of Pedro is he doesn't have a mustache, it looked like. And
no, he's clean shaven at the moment, and it makes him look old, to be for some reason. But yeah, look it up after we're done filming, man. That clip of Sigourney Weaver and Pedro together, it was drier than no, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, actually. It was so beyond it. It was unreal, but it was awful. It was awful.
Okay. Well, the only news I have really here, it's Kathleen Kennedy's last little, hey, I'm still a part of this. I want to comment on this as she leaves Star Wars. But she basically confirmed Grogu doesn't say any words in this movie. He doesn't start speaking. So if people were going to expect a Yoda type dialogue to start coming out of Grogu in this Mando and Grogu movie, she has gone ahead and confirmed that he does not speak in this movie either. I don't think I wanted to see him speak. Feel like that'd be a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, off-putting. but that's all she had to say about Mando and Grogu. So not exactly noteworthy, but
yeah, I don't think I care about him speaking yet. Or ever, really. He's cute enough and funny enough as it is. Like, only if they ever did something where Din Djarin dies in front of him, and then he's funny, like, bitch.
Sad I am.
And then he finally starts talking after that. So
Yeah.
I'm not that bothered if he speaks in this.
Yeah.
We've got bigger things to worry about with this movie, whether Grogu's talking or not.
Exactly. Because like my least concern is if he talks or not. I just want them to land the goddamn plane.
I'm more concerned about whether Rotter the Hutt's going to speak English or Huttese, to be honest. So
better be Huttese. We stay true to the freaking source material. All right. He's not speaking English.
Yes, of course we do.
Of course. All right. Last thing before we head out of here. I don't know if you've noticed or heard, but Xbox lost the console wars. They've been absolutely pathetic as far as the last few years go, if I'm being honest. All their exclusives, everything they've been doing business-wise, Xbox.
So they had exclusives? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Halo, back in the day. But no, I think they had was Starfield? Was that Xbox only, or was that on the PS5 as well?
It was definitely on PC.
It was on PC. Okay.
So.
Well, that goes to show they didn't really have many exclusives going on anymore. They just kind of got pathetic. I don't know. And this is coming from somebody who's only owned Xboxes. I've been an Xbox owner and rocker my entire life, except for the Nintendo 64. When that first Xbox dropped, I got that, and ever since then, it's been Xbox 360, Xbox One. I'm not going to go further because I don't have the Series X. Get off my back about it. But yeah, they just kind of pathetically out at the old console wars here. So PlayStation took over. They won it essentially between those two. But now Xbox has a new thing they are trying to roll out to save their face, save a little humility, and that is called Project Helix. Have you heard anything about this?
I saw some online bits in their little 2-second promo video where they showed the logo. So apart from that, I haven't heard anything more than what they announced it was going to be. So
it's the Xbox Next, which they just get worse at naming these things. I mean, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But evidently, it's supposed to play both Xbox and PC games. I don't know. I believe, is this the thing tied in with Steam? I think Microsoft was purchasing Steam, or there was something going on with Steam there that Xbox was going to be able to utilize it to be able to get all the PC games and everything onto the Xbox as well. I don't know if this is that same thing.
They've already done that deal with Steam, so I can access my Steam catalog on my Xbox Game Pass.
So this is their first release since acquiring the whole Steam thing and bringing those games over. But I guess it's their new big thing, and it's going to be their competition going against the PS6. So you're not a console guy, right? You're on your full PC these days, or do you still rock the PlayStation? No?
Mate, we've got every console in this house.
Got everything. So. All right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you and your wife got your own consoles rocking there.
I've literally been streaming Spider-Man on the PS5 on our channel, Dave.
That was the last thing that I had stopped and go, or PS5, because I just remembered you talking about the PlayStation camera. But what's your go-to? What do you prefer playing on these things?
Oh, this is the thing. In terms of console, I've mostly my life been an Xbox guy. I owned the original PlayStation and a PS2, and then after that, I moved across to Xbox until recently. In this particular household where we merged all consoles. So the PS5, I've only just started playing on the PS5 recently, to be fair. We kind of like swapped consoles for a bit to go on the other ones. But I have been a PC player for a long time, but only a couple of particular games. One that means nothing to you guys called Football Manager, or back in the day when it used to be called Championship Manager, which is like a management simulator game for soccer. That's like simply because the console version's fucking awful. So you want the full experience, you have to go PC. So other games I have played a couple on PC, but I've mostly been a console guy. Like we got the Steam Deck. Love to kick the wife's ass on the Switch when we're playing a bit of Mario Kart. But yeah, Steam Deck is for a bit house flipper. Love that. But no, I mean, in terms of other serious games, but like everything else, you like Assassin's Creed, FIFA, Call of Duty, Halo, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, all that sort of stuff is all consoles.
Okay, all right.
I'll stop bragging because I want to make you jealous. Because you. I was
gonna say, I mean, I have an Xbox One, so get the hell off my back. But it's whatever. Go ahead and talk about your Oculus and every possible gaming console you have in that house of yours. But well, are you gonna get the Project Helix then? Well, let me give you some info just so you can help make that decision. It's got the PS6 being projected at about a $600 price point, maybe a little higher. They have the Project Helix for Xbox having a price point starting at around $1,000.
No, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because I have the Xbox Series X and I actually barely touch it, to be honest. So the chances of ramping up to the next one up from there is very small.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. And I made a promise. I was done with Xbox after just what they've done the last few years. I was like, all right, my next console, if I buy it, if it's not just a PC, I'm going PlayStation. So whether it's the 5 or the 6, I'm leaving Microsoft in the dust. Halo's not even good anymore. That was the main reason I stuck with Microsoft.
It's boring. So. It's just shooting things. You can do that in anything.
Hey man, as long as you're not talking about the first 3 games, I'll let it slide. We start calling Halo 1, 2, and 3 boring, we might have to have a new episode where I get very angry. But maybe we'll bring that up
let's film that tomorrow, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, I get bored with shoot 'em ups quite easily, simply because I prefer a story-driven game as opposed to a fighting-driven game. But then some of my favorite games, you have to fight non-stop in them, like Mass Effect and things like that. So. Mass Effect trilogy is probably my favorite trilogy of games ever, to be fair. So
I love it. They're great.
But I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like PlayStation have recently come out and said that they're obviously going to stop giving their exclusive games to PC as well. So all their exclusive games are going to be PlayStation 5 only.
Right.
They're not giving them to PC and Steam to play. So everyone's kind of they're shrinking back into their own ball sacks a little bit and just keeping it all for themselves.
Classic. Yeah. We're almost got there. Almost were able to play, all the games, and then maybe one day. But yeah, we'll see. I think that's supposed to drop in 2027 here, so we'll see. But video game wise, if you're out there, continue to stay tuned to our streams we got going. Love just started up Arkham Knight, which was the voted YouTube game, so he's been rocking that on YouTube, and Andy joined as well. He's been rocking Spider-Man 2 on the live stream. So you guys got to stay tuned with that and watch these guys ball out. Are you going to be playing that for a minute? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far along the story, because obviously I can never know how far along the story, man, because I have been doing like a lot of the side missions and stuff in between, because if I don't play it every 2 or 3 days, I start to forget controls. So, but I didn't want to like flood our stream with me just constantly playing Spider-Man. So I like off stream doing the side missions and stuff just to get those out the way, because I like when I play by myself, I like to like do a little bit of like main story, and then I just want to get all the side missions I can done and out the way, and that's boring on stream. You don't want to watch me doing that.
Right.
So I've been getting all that done. I'm at the stage where again I'm ready to go for the main story, so maybe even tomorrow evening, or tomorrow evening my time, and middle of the afternoon for you lovely people in America. You might catch the next Spider-Man 2 stream, but I'll do the same with Love. Once I finish Spider-Man 2, I'm going to put a poll up for what you guys want me to play next. Although me and Love have been keeping an eye and distributing between the two of us the upcoming games for this year, and stuff like that. Wolverine, I think we both wanted to play that, so we might toss a coin on who gets to do that live streaming, or whether the other guys, or whether we just want to dive into it and not share it with you lot, because why should we? We should be selfish. I think I think I picked like 007 to play online. I think I let Lub have GTA 6. Probably because he might be able to afford it before me. If it's like 100 on whatever it is going to be,
right?
And I think we both said like Star Wars Galactic Racer that we might join forces and do a few joint streams on that one just to have a bit of racing fun. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'll once I finish Spider-Man 2, I'll put a poll up as well. You're going to see some games in there like Last of Us Part 1. Assassin's Creed Mirage will be in there. Cyberpunk 77 I think is going to be on the list as well, and I'll have to dig out one more
Football Manager
to see what I'm doing. You don't want to watch me play that, it's so boring. I literally watch Twitch streams of people playing it and go, yeah, I don't imagine anyone wants to watch me play this, because it's fucking it's insanely boring to watch, but I just love playing it. I've been playing every iteration of that game since 1998.
I mean, that's amazing. That in itself is a reason to keep grinding away. That's awesome.
28 years I've been playing.
That's awesome.
Every single season they come out with a new version. I've played it every year since for the last 28 years.
That's so funny. That's a streak right there. Shit, you can't stop now.
I'm probably longer on FIFA actually. If I get round to playing, well, what's now called EA 26, but I've been playing FIFA every version of that since 1993. So
God.
starting to really show my age now. So
I didn't know FIFA was dropping it in 93.
That's like one of the first versions, I think.
Okay.
93 and 94. So I've been playing it
Yeah.
since I was like 10 years old. So
damn. All right. Bona fides right there. Bona fides. So maybe you got to do maybe not Football Manager, but maybe you can, maybe I'll hop on FIFA and we can play each other for an online stream and you can absolutely embarrass me.
I would say you don't want to play me. You'll fucking lose.
No, it'll be bad. I played FIFA twice. So
I'm too competitive as well for online playing against other people.
Well, let's be honest. I don't have internet to play other people in something that's going to be able to record. I'm going to drop and freeze and crash.
I'm surprised you lasted 55 minutes.
Yeah, speaking of, we should probably wrap this up here. But yeah, no, that's all we got here. That's our Week in Geek for the week. So thank you for joining us as always. Again, stay tuned for these Xbox live streams. We've got new merch out. Check out our merch store. We've got a new hat dropping there. We've got mugs. We got hoodies. We've got larger sizes now, and I think we're messing around with the logo shapes too. So we're updating stuff out there. Be sure to check out our merch store. It's in our links and all of our social medias. Spotify, our link for the merch stuff is there. And check out our new website. We got our bios where you can meet the crew. Shows each
see if
of
you
our
can work out
faces.
who used ChatGPT and who hasn't.
It was so obvious. Yeah, see which bio seems AI generated and which one isn't. But yeah, check out our website. JD's been going hard on that. It's pretty sweet.
Fair play. Thanks, JD.
Yeah, he's been putting into it. It's awesome. We'll be continuously improving it as we go, getting more and more beautiful photos and bios and ChatGPT descriptions. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned with that. And we got all of our episodes. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Fallout Season 2 finally dropped, and all of our Week in Geeks. So thank you for joining us here today, and we'll catch you next time on Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.